If you like this video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up.
Started that time. Right, Ray's in the workshop fixing a bit for this Amazon spreader. That bar there, which is attached to that spring, on this side the bar was bent, so we took that off yesterday. He's just reinforcing that, and then we'll get that back on in a bit. You fixing stuff, Ray?
I'm fixing stuff again, yes.
Again. Looking good.
I'm just going to go and try it now before
we commit.
Permanent.
Yeah.
You've got a bracket going over here, see, so you can't have it two all the way up.
No, no.
You can see how bent it is.
Yeah.
Boomerang now.
Boomerang, that's it. Yeah. Well, throw it away.
It'll come back.
Ah, they are in here. My sunglasses. Thought I'd lost them. Well, the sun is trying to come out. Thought if I put the sunglasses on, surely it will then. You're so proud of it, Ray, that you're hanging it up. Wait for the red oxide to dry, we'll get it back on. That split bin will do, won't it?
Yeah.
Right, I've got to get back in this hopper, have I? That is awkward. Feeling my age now.
If you can hold that up like that.
Yeah. Is it dry? Yeah.
See if I can bend this over.
Bit of an awkward place, that split bin, isn't it?
It is.
You can't get a good angle on it. A good fit. That went right, didn't it?
Yeah. Put it down and then see what it looks like. Ain't going to catch nothing, is it?
And that's alright.
That's fine. Your bit now.
My bit.
Spring.
Spring goes in there. And then in there. It's the longest bloody bolt ever, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? That's freer though, isn't it?
That's much freer.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was pretty tight to get off.
Well, at least you'll get some top slip on the thread as it's going through. So.
It will actually, Ray. Yeah. And they're about the same tension, Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's alright.
Yep. Right, so a lot of you guys have been asking about the old Fordson Major. You want to know the history of it, how long it's been on the farm, etc. Here to answer those questions is Dad.
Hello everyone. So we've got the old Ford Major, have we? Is it warm? Have you had it running this morning?
I've had it running this morning, yeah, briefly.
Briefly, yes. We're still together, isn't she?
She's all together, 1954 this one, isn't she?
1954. We've actually sort of found that I knew it was in the 50s, but I looked on the registration book and it's August 54. Now we didn't have this tractor new. It came to the farm in the early 70s. It must have been about 20 years old, I should think then. Really, I went with my father to a farm sale down in Wolverton, just down the road, Buckinghamshire, and I remember a farm sale and Dad bought it. I don't think he paid a lot of money for it. He wouldn't do. I think it's got about 7,000 or 8,000 miles.
Miles, yeah. Hours, yeah. 7,500.
I think it's still going round. It was pretty tired when it came to the farm. It was 20 years, and it's been on the farm since, well, this must have had it sort of 45 years in that respect.
Yeah. I suppose when you had it at 20 years old, it was still fairly new then, wasn't it?
Well,
in a way. In a way.
Well, yeah, in a way. If I'm being absolutely honest, it looks about exactly the same as it did when it came.
Oh, right. Okay.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah. Well, it's been in the shed here for a while. It sat for at least 20 years, didn't it?
Yes, it did actually. But we bought it because Dad used to make a lot of hay and used to do a lot of tedding.
Yeah.
And I think you have a cock pheasant tedder on the back.
Yeah.
I remember going up probably about, I don't know, I wouldn't give my age away, but I'd be fairly young. And and I used to go tedding hay with this cock pheasant on the back. And I used to think how really quiet it runs.
Yeah.
It's sort of offset. I think can't remember. I think you set it for towing down the road, and then you offset it for tedding.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yes. So used to do that, and just generally put a two-wheel trailer around the farm and that sort of thing. But it's been retired quite some time.
Yeah.
But it was pretty much retired when we had it, and that was 45 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was about 7 or 8 years ago. We pulled it out of the shed. You said it had been sitting for at least 20 years.
Yes.
We did a couple of bits, didn't we? New exhaust, some hoses, bits and pieces, new rear tyres.
Yes, tyres all around. We thought, well, if we're going to use it, we'd better get some tyres on it. But we
never really went much further, did we, at that time?
Really, no. And then we had this issue, which is now fixed. The governor is a diaphragm. It regulates the... I don't know why there's a governor on these old tractors, and if the diaphragm goes, it'll over-rev.
Yeah, it was split, wasn't it? Rubber diaphragm.
Yes, so that's been fixed. Now, I thought the engine was quite tired. I think it is probably quite tired, but I'll have to say, since having fixed the diaphragm, you've been using it for harrowing and rolling.
A little bit of harrowing and rolling,
I
didn't
expected to see more oil coming out of the exhaust.
Yeah.
Because it used to. So my thoughts were that your best bet would be to do something to the engine, probably either liners and rings and
seals and stuff,
pop bearings on the bottom or something. Not go overboard, just do a bit to it.
Yeah.
But I have to say, you were pulling that roll, and I think it was going quite well.
Yeah.
And, it hasn't, unless it's magically repaired itself. Could it be a sticking ring that was,
you never know.
I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Letting oil come past, I don't know. I'm not, that familiar with how that all works, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've done that. Did the governor? So that's
done the governor. Yeah. We put a new stop cable on it.
Yeah, so we can actually stop it now.
We can actually stop it. We can start the engine, maintain the revs, it's not over revving, and we can stop it as well.
In a way, you could actually use this tractor, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, for just sort of...
need to get a roll bar, but yeah.
You do need to get a roll bar, yes. There's a couple of little jobs you've done on the back.
The drawbar area.
Well, we've got these new plates, are probably aftermarket, aren't they? But the reason being, there was an assembly on here, a stud had broken, just around here. Now Ray got it out, because there was a sort of bit of an assembly that I think was made up years ago on the farm here. I think I remember it happening.
Yeah.
And it sort of bolted up there to sort of take this way, but it looked messy. So Ray's taken that off. He managed to get the stud out. We put 2 new studs in and need new plates. There's obviously a bit of wear in here, but...
We put these pins in, didn't we? Because they were bolted originally, which apparently is wrong.
Well, I made a mistake, years ago, putting 2 bolts in.
Yeah.
Apparently that's not the case. Somebody pointed out they've got to have pins in, so there's a bit of play.
A bit of play, and also the fact that it's got to be quick, because you've got 3 holes here for your adjustment, your height on the drawbar.
Of course, you can't bolt, that's right.
If you bolted it up... There's
obviously there's wear in there, Nick, hence that's why they're...
Yeah.
I bet they're all like that anyway. So we're not too worried about that.
No.
That's been like that long enough. You're thinking, don't restore it with paintwork, just leave it as it is.
Just leave it as it is, I
think it'll look better.
Yeah, I mean, I've washed the bird crap off it.
Well, that makes sense. And there's things you can do. I wouldn't paint her.
No, personally, I wouldn't either, to be honest, no.
No, I mean... The nose cone, I don't know. You could probably look for 2 grills, couldn't you?
Yeah, could do that.
That would probably...
tidy that up a little bit.
But
you don't want to go too far with it, do you?
I don't think you do. When it first came, it had Because we changed this, me and you, we put this on, didn't we?
We did that a few years ago when we first got it out the
We
shed.
used to have
Yeah.
the downhill type.
That's it,
And
yeah.
the evidence of that is there. You see that? That's where the exhaust is. Now, I don't know why they made these downward ones, because I remember, actually, I only just remembered, it used to blow the sort of hay, and it used to smell more, fumes. Of course, I think it was already broken. You should run alongside. I just remembered that. Dust and hay sort of blowing up because the exhaust. Why it was always a downward one, I don't know. But you used to look quite sleek without the...
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody out there will know why they made some with that downhill exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
I call it downhill.
I'm sure they will, yeah.
So that's pretty much it, really. So the idea is to sort of use it a bit. You want to make some hay with it, don't you?
I might give it a go. I can do a bit of tedding or something, can't it? Yeah.
Whether we could try... we've got a 5-foot perfect mower, haven't we? Perfect.
Perfect.
It's called a perfect.
It's called a perfect.
Yeah. It's
Rotary
rotary
topper, yeah. You want to try that, give it a bit of a PTO job to do, a bit of...
Well, if you try it for a couple of hours and see if it's still running after that, and you know, you can say, well, do we need to do anything to the engine? But had you said to me a month ago and said, well, you won't be able to go very far with it because you'll just
blow oil out.
Yeah, you have smoke coming out.
Yeah, I'm surprised how well it worked the other day rolling. I was only rolling for a couple of hours, but I was expecting...
Well, I expect you to come back to the yard and say, I've got trouble here.
Yeah,
You know?
I was expecting that, yeah.
There's smoking, there's oil pouring out the exhaust. You know, it hasn't used any oil, I don't think.
No.
There's no evidence of it sort of, spewing out all out of the dipstick or out of the exhaust. So, could it have repaired itself on the rings side of things?
Well, you never know.
But now you use it, maybe it would be fine.
Yeah, maybe.
Somebody could advise actually whether we could do sort of the minimum to the engine. I'd say rings, the pistons and liners, and bearings in the bottom.
Yeah.
I know I'm repeating myself there, but I think that's...
That involves axle off.
Yes, I think the axle needs to go off because doesn't it connect to the sump?
There's some just there, yeah.
Because I would say that the engine is probably in a good position to work on with all the front removed.
Yep.
So these chassis rails, they'd come off, wouldn't they? It's probably better.
Better sort of in situ, like you say.
Always that kind of, it's not quite at working height, but it's better than on the floor, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to point out the fuel tank. Halfway up on this seam, it does leak. Yeah, so you can only fill it half full.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward, isn't it?
A little bit awkward.
What's the choices there then? You can get a reproduction one, I gather. But that seems a shame to...
It does. You kind of want to take that off, weld it, but you've got to be careful doing that.
Yes, don't weld a tank. I did a motorcycle tank once when I was a child. And it went flying across the workshop. God. It didn't leak either. I tried to do something with it. So
of course.
I don't think we want to aim for perfection here.
No.
Because I think it just wants to get used.
Of course it does.
Yeah. It's better on the farm.
Definitely. I'm pleased we're sort of getting it out.
You can get on these old Majors, aren't they? The Fergie was much easier, wasn't it? Because we'll step onto
To be honest, yeah.
A funny little corner thing. They're quite a long way up, aren't they, too?
You have to sort of grab the mud guard, pull yourself up. It is a bit awkward, yeah.
Well, not the easiest to...
I'll tell you what I have got. Hayley chucked out this pink dog bed. I thought that's perfect for the seat.
It is, isn't it?
But it was a bit girly, so I put a blue one on top. So that can go on it.
Yeah, so I see what you mean.
Yeah, so
Old school, isn't it?
she is old school.
I know there are millions of them, and they're not worth much. But they're worth it to... Although, actually, I think they are worth it.
Oh, definitely. And the fact that it's here, has been for a while, she runs, it seems a shame not to use her. We'll have to see then how the engine performs long term, but
Yeah, well, what I'd do is bung something on, give it an hour or two with the PTO.
yeah, just see how it goes. Right then, impromptu road trip, which are always the best kind. I'm off to a place just the other side of Cambridge, going back to what I was saying about needing a roll bar for the Fordson Major. I had a message from a chap called Steve who says he's got one and I can have it. So that's awesome. Cheers, Steve. I'm on my way. We'll pick that up and I'm sure that'll probably be part of one of my next videos, us getting that fitted on the old Fordson Major. Ooh, we've got it. One roll bar for a Fordson Major. That is awesome. It was only last week I mentioned on a video that we needed a roll bar, and here I am. I've just picked one up. I've got it in the truck ready to take home. So a big thanks to Steve for hooking me up with it. Now, have I got time to stop at the pub?